Welcome back. So, in today's episode, we're just going to work on the service pages. If someone clicks on this service or clicks on any of these ones, we should just be able to route him in that page, and then we filter by that. Okay. Yeah. So we need to go ahead and create that page, and you might just create only one. I might just create one page, which is the way you see here, the service detailed page. And then on this page, if I refresh this page here, you will see that it has the results, the way you're seeing here. And then it has here the filters. Now we'll have only the other services as the filter, and then this side we will have this a doctor card just like this. Okay, yeah, so this is how it is going to look like. So I'm just going to go ahead and start. I'm just going to go ahead and close everything, and let me just go ahead and create a new folder in the front. I'm just going to create service or services. I think we just going to create service. Now we'll be using, I think most of these ones, they have slugs. So we might be using slugs. So I'll create another folder for the slug. Then inside this folder, we can create a page.tsx, rfc. Okay. On this page, we can just go ahead and just get the params. So we'll get the params, we'll just go to the Next.js documentation. And in the documentation, I'm just going to go ahead and I will search for the params. If you search params for the page, okay, so you can see I just want to copy this one, which has params and search params, because we're just going to use both of them. So I'm just going to paste here. Now, as you can see, we have the slab, and you can just go here and you say H2, and you can put the slab. Okay. Now I'm just going to go ahead and route to this. I'm just going to go to where we are browsing by these categories. Okay, I will just go to this part, and then I will just go ahead and route to these different pages. Okay, cannot find slug. Okay, let me just leave it, go back to the front page. So where we have this, we have this tabbed section. Okay, if you just go there, we have services and all that. Here we have different components, link cards, and so on. Service list. Let's start with the service list. where we have the service card. And you can see this one takes us to services. I'm just going to say service. And if I refresh, and I want to say that I'm really sorry for the delayed release of the episodes, more especially in this app, because I've been lately really, it has been a really rough operation, and I'm having a lot of backlogs, and I couldn't manage to do the episodes in time. But I'm trying to actually schedule off most of the work of my chest so that I can make more content, more especially on YouTube. So if right now we go to this page, you'll see that it is going to service mental health consult, just like this, and service slug is not defined. I mean, it is serious. Mm. So let's just go ahead and destructure this. We don't have the slug, just like that. Okay, so you can see the slug is here. So we need to design this page to look somehow like this. So I will start by giving this a class of a container. Okay. I will also go ahead and give so inside this container, I'm just going to have another one which is going to have a max width. Maybe we just have like a max width of maybe 5xa dot mx auto. Okay, so this is going to go inside here. So you can see basically we're going to have this card and these ones. So I will just have within these ones, you can also go ahead and give a grade, and you can just say grade equals 12, and then in the first one, the grade code span. So this one is going to be code span maybe 3. Okay, then we have this, and then we'll have another one which is going to be code span 9, and let's give a gap of 6, and maybe LG gap of 10. Okay, so you can just go ahead and have another thing here like H2. And just say loading. And at this point, our app is really coming so much close to the end. I'm just going to go ahead and give this one padding of 8. Okay. We have most of the things really working at the back end. We're just only waiting to give some analytics on those dashboards, and then we'll be done. So I just want to have these two. So on this side here, I want to give Um, just create a cards of this kind. I also going to create. Let me just show you something. I want to copy the way we did this part here. The way it is always on the e-commerce. I'm just going to do it like that. If someone clicks, more especially like on this, where we have the cards, and this one's gonna be just going to do it in this format. Okay, we'll have it in this format. So we'll have this category just like this. Okay, so we can have the title const title is going to be equal to slug dot. I can just simply just say dot. I can split this into an array, and I can split it where we have a minus, and this one is going to split it. Then I can join this back, okay, with space, and then I can just say, if I just come in here and just say title, you can see that we have a heading like that. We can just give it a class name of capitalize. So I eventually want to create something like this. So I will start with this header that I'm just going to go and go to shard. So let me just go to shard. Under typography, I will just grab this heading. So inside this container, I'm just going to add this, and let me just add some padding Y04 on it. I'm just going to make it the title. Now, of course, don't forget to capitalize. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So this is good. Mental health consult. Okay. In brackets, we shall just like put in brackets. You can just put here brackets 10. If it has like 10 doctors inside this, we shall have like 10 okay. I'm just going to only give this padding bottom of about 6. Okay. And we could just like mental consults doctors, maybe doctors, because it will be returning at the end of the day, it will be returning the doctors. I don't know if the word doctors is necessary. I think it is not really necessary. And I'm just going to reduce this to, okay, to just reduce it out of it. Okay. So having done that, we can just have now this kind of scenario. So we need to have here where you can browse also by services. So in this first one, this one, I'm just going to go ahead and say shadow. Okay, I will give it a border. I could just say border gray 200, and you can even just give it 50%, and then you can just say rounded, and then go ahead and give it a padding of maybe 6. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Um, then this is going to be, I'm just going to give this 6. You could just give it 6 or 5, depending on what you want. Okay. And maybe I'm just going to give it 4 here, and this one I give it 8. So let me just go ahead and give it a title. So here you can just like have font semi-bold, and you can just say other services. Now we just need to also have a type. We are going to use the same, we just use the same we'll use the same page for all of them. So we'll pass also a type here, but let's first work on the services. So here we'll have also other services that we can list down. So the padding y of maybe 3, we can have a link, and let's have href of right now hash. I just say link 1, just like this. Make sure this one is coming from next link. So if you check on these links here, they just have, just give a class name. Let's say over blue 600. Okay, and let's go ahead and just make them like many. Okay, we can just like make them to be in flex. Okay, can just like make them like this. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and remove the shadow. And let's go ahead and give them text sn. Okay, this is great. And we can also give a space y of maybe 2. Okay. So however, the hover is not working. And this is because we simply added blue. It's supposed to be text blue, I guess. Okay. Okay, so now you can see it has this hover effect. While meanwhile on this side, we're just going to have, first of all, we'll have to fetch the doctors by service. So onto this, we'll just get, and we already have the slug. We can also we can do something like this, where we just have like type, and we get it from the search params. Okay, so you can just do something like this from the search params is equal to search params. So we can pass something here. For instance, if I just pass type echo service, I can just go ahead and console.log that. Can I just say console.log type? So if I just go here on the console, more especially here, if I just go on to these here, must give a type. Okay, so you can just say type here is service. Okay, so whatever we pass here, and this can help us to know what to display here and even here. Now, first of all, let's create a fetch function. So just going to go ahead and say const. Before you create, we can just say create a function that is going to be searching or fetching. If we should put in the services, I'm just going to get, we have been getting service by Slack already is there here. Get service by Slack. So this one is going to be inside the doctors. I'm just going to create here a new one. Actually, just like duplicate one of these ones. Just going to duplicate one of these service, duplicate. I'm just going to create doctors. And I will leave only one thing. I will just leave this one which has a slug. Okay. So only at this time we want to get actually gate doctors. So what we want is doctors by Slack. Okay, I just say get doctors by Slack, and this can be service Slack or whichever. Okay, let's say we have a service Slack. In this case, you would go in the service and we start looking at the relationships we have. I can just go to this side. So if you check within a service, um, a service can have doctors, and you can see it has this a list of doctors attached to it, and that's what we want. Okay, we want to include the doctors within this service. So if we just go back here, we could just go ahead and get a service by the Slack. And after getting this, we could just go ahead and say include. So you say include, and then we can include the doctors. Can also include the doctor profiles. You just want just the doctors. I don't know, do we need like doctors or doctor profiles? I just first see doctors, and then I just gonna say doctor profiles actually. Okay, and just say true. We might just need like the profiles. We just take note. So after getting this on the return here, we can also create um, if I said late doctors equal an empty array. So at this point, I could just say const doctors is equal to services or service dot doctor profiles. I could just like return like this, and then I can go ahead and return doctors just like this. For this, if there is any error, just return an empty array. Okay, so I can just go ahead and remove this. So now if I pass this flag, I'm supposed to only return the doctors. If I go back here, I'm just going to go back to this flag page. I'm just going to say const doctors is equal to get doctors by slug get doctor get it was get doctors by slug, this one, and we can pass in the slug just like so. So we already have the cards. I think there is a doctor card or something. Control P doctor card. card. We have the one in a carousel. Let's first go to this, a doctor card. It takes in a doctor, right? It can take in a doctor, and the doctor has this with a doctor profile. Where is this doctor coming? The type coming from? Coming from the types. Okay, basically what we could also do is, so this one does not include, let's first see what we have here in this. So this is the card we are trying to render, this one here. What I'm just going to do is, let me first check this card a second. Home page. We have this doctor list. It has this, and then it has a doctor carousel. Then the doctor carousel is a doctor card. Okay, this is the doctor card. We have to make sure that doctor card takes in a doctor of this type. Okay, doctor has ID, name, email, phone, Slack, plus the doctor profile. So this is how we want the whatever we are returning back this side should be in that. Okay, so we can also just go here, and instead of this doctor, we're just going to release this, and you can also go inside this and you write include. So want to include the doctor profile, just like this. And just put through here, and this is going to be doctors. Okay, so if you look at the doctors, they have so many fields on them. So we have to balance. Mm, let's just go and see if this one can work. First of all, just go back to here, service lag. So in this call span 8, I'm just also going to make this a grid. Okay. And this is going to be grid calls 2, grid calls 2. And let's put a map here of doctors dot map. Oh, wait here, and makes this async function. So here we can just have doctors. Okay, we still have map, and we can map. So we could just like do if doctors exist. Okay, remove this. So there's a possibility of them being empty. So here I'm just going to say by default is going to be empty. Okay, so I'm just going to inside this, maybe let this grid be inside. So I'm just going to say if doctors and doctors dot length is greater than 0, then we can just like add a div. Maybe you could just say if this is true, we'll add a div here. Else we'll have another div here saying h2 of no doctors for this maybe category. Okay. So inside here, we're just going to have the grid, grid course 2, and so just go ahead and do the map here. We can just have now doctors dot map, and if you have access to a doctor, and then we can just do this return, and we are just returning the doctor card. Okay, we have the doctor card, which will pass the key first, which should be doctor dot id. Okay, comma, not comma, space. Doctor is going to be a doctor. Okay, now this one we make sure it has a type of doctor from the types, just like this. And also, this one is refusing because of this one here. Okay. And what I can do is I can go to this. Okay. And this one will be yes, will be doctors. Okay. So at this point we have defined the types for this. So I'm just going to say this is going to be doctor types and array, just like that. Okay. Now, if you just look at this, it has so many fields. So I could do something like service dot doctors dot. I could map through this just like this. And maybe I could have a doc, and then inside here we could just say return, and I need to return an object of this nature. The one in the types. Let's go and look at it. Okay, I'm just going to return this object here. ID should be doc dot ID, doc dot name, doc dot email, doc dot phone, then we have doc dot slug, and finally doc dot profile. Okay, so doctor profile. Okay, something like this. So here they are saying type and define inside that I would type this here. Mm, maybe here just say undefined. How about null? Still here. Property availability is missing. Mm, property availability is missing. And I think just because of this, so you can also do availability. So it's true. Was it available? Wait. In the doctor profile, we have you can just say so include, and here we have availability too. Okay. So in this, so now this one is okay. Where is the error? I'm not seeing it here. Okay, this one. Okay, so we have included everything the way we want it. So this one now is actually Dr. O undefined. We can just remove now. Okay, so we just come back here. We should have everything working properly right now. Key Dr. If we just do this, we go back to this. No doctors for this category, so we need to get a category which has maybe some. I'm just going to go back to this. Let's get another category. We have ED consults, we have this, we have this, we have this, and also this. At least one of these ones should have ED consult. All these ones don't have any. Something is not right. Something is not right because um so let's go ahead and also console.log doctors here. So here we have an empty array. How about event header? If we go to the dashboard just a bit, you go to settings and you go to service settings. You will see, like, for instance, this service, it is under the main headers. Okay, so at least if we go to main to headers console, it should have one thing. I'm just going to go to only that. I'll go to main to headers, which is actually this first one. And here it is saying there is nothing. So let's just go and see why. Okay. Mm, let's just first go to this. And I think it's just because here we're just like where slug. Um, we're including the doctors. But if you look at maybe Let's go ahead and look at. So we have these services. When we click on update, actually we are adding this on the profile, I guess. Let's first go to the profile. Because we might just want to be like, are we just updating the user or we updating the doctor profile? So if you scroll down here, you can see we have here the service ID and the service. Okay, so meaning we can just return here these services in this. Instead of including this, we could just simply include the doctor profiles, and we just maybe we can also include, so in the doctor profiles we can include availability, I guess. So here we will have doctor profiles dot map. So we have the ID. Now this ID is the ID of the doctor. So it should be like doc dot maybe user ID. The name, we can construct this name, I guess. Okay. So we can just say, for instance, here, and we can just say doc dot first name, and then we can just also construct the last name. Email, I think email is there on the phone. Now the Slack, because I think that's why we needed the doctor in the first place. Because we are routing the doctors using the Slack. How are we going to get the Slack? And this here is just this doc. So here we just only miss the Slack. Which is generated from the name. Maybe what we can just do is Mm, For now, let's just put a slug empty. Type property of email are incompatible. So the same as the phone. Okay, so if I just go back this side, refresh, we should be able to see at least a doctor, I guess. Yeah. So we're able to see now a doctor. Who is this? The only problem we have right now is that we cannot route because we don't have the slug onto this. Okay. So the question is how we're going to get the slug. And how we are going to get the slug is how we generate the doctor profile, right? We just simply need to add in the slug from the doctor profile. So and how was okay, the slug was generated from the name, right? The slug was generated from the name. If you check, I think we updated in the schema, we updated the user to have this slug, right? So upon creating the user, we now create the slug. I'm just going to see. So this slug must have been generated. So we can just see here. If you go to users, create user, so you can see the slug actually takes in this full name. That's how it is able to generate the slug. So onto here. And even this name. Okay, if we just go on to this here, you said I think it is the difference. You can see it has Tanya Coleman, and this is the full name that was generated here. You can see this. Okay, we have to have a way of getting the this user. One way we can do is going to the doctor card. Control P, doctor card here, and where we have this name. So doctor name, I think here you can also use doctor dot doctor profile dot first name. So we can just create using this. And you can put space. Its last name. Okay, I think it is just within here. Put space and then put last name. So you could just exchange that and you'll see that all these ones will change. Okay. So that even here it makes sense. The only problem we have right now is getting this. Okay. So if you look at a way we fetched these ones here, let's look at that. Mm, let me just go to the page. So so it's getting all the doctors and then filter doctor profile dot okay. That is the for the operation mode, which is going to be very easy to get. But then for the other categories, so if you go to the get doctors down here, is finding the user, selecting all those ones. Mm. So you if we just go on the user this side, Prisma user, the problem is that this service ID that is there is this service ID, which is there, does not actually have these users as we are updating. These service IDs are being updated on the profile. They're being updated on the profile. We can also check that. Control P, service settings. So if you see here, we have services. Under update service, you can see we say update. You see, it is updating doctor profile. Update doctor profile with service. It is updating doctor profile. There is where we are getting these. Alternatively, where we have these the doctor detailed page here. So where we have this, if we go and check this page, which is the Dr. Slag page here. Um, the first thing you see, we get doctor by Slag, and then we, after getting the doctor, is this. Then we get appointment by using this. So the most important thing is getting the doctor by Slag. Okay. So alternatively, we could um we could also use ID. Okay. In some cases, I think we could use the IDs in some cases. Like on this case, we could just like route by that. But then in other cases, we could just route by ID. Okay. Like we make the Slack to be the ID. Then how would we fetch the user in that case? Okay. I'm just thinking over it. So this, while we have this get by Slack, we could just also have get doctor by ID. Let me see. We could also just have this get doctor by ID. Just the same thing. Here we just add ID and we say if ID, and then here we just say ID, I guess. Just the same exact thing. So instead, on the detailed page, here we might not use actually slug, but we can just get a slug. That's okay. But we might not need the slug. I'm just going to go ahead and use the ID, and the ID is going to be from where? Okay, so I can just say here, I'm just going to get the doctor. I can pass in here the doctor. I'm just going to comment this one. I'm just going to use by ID. We should pass in ID here. Okay. We can get the ID from the params. The way we have these, I'm just going to copy this. The way we have like this. And we could just come here and say const ID is equal to search params, and then we pass this ID here. And the only thing we just do is to go to the service card or the doctor card, and we pass in where we have this. We're just going to say question mark ID is equal to dollar doctor.id, just like that. We have one problem under doctor, and you can just pass this as a string, just like this. Okay. Now that means that we could generate a slug, and how? Where we have these doctors, here we have generate slug. Okay, and we can pass in this. Okay. Okay, so going back here, we have no doctor found because we actually changed. So let's go back to this, refresh. I'm just going to go back and right click on this. Now you see we have also the ID as we go to this. Now we have the same experience, doctors man, and we have the ID, and we're using the ID to fetch, which is an advantage when you go back to this, is also having the is also having this. If you go back here, open. Now you will see that we actually now fetch the details of this doctor, which is really nice now. Yeah. So we have been able to handle this maturely, and like how that one is. You can also just go ahead and use the generated slug here. Now the slug is just for SEO purposes in this case. Okay. Let's go and check in other categories. Okay, ED concert, you might find we have also some ED concert, there is no any. And this UI, okay, we have two now. Let's add gap on the service page. Can I add gap? Just going to add a gap of 6. Myself. Okay, I'm not seeing that gap. Just add the grid here. Should just have some gap in between these two now. Yeah, we have gap. Okay, so I think even this one is big. We could try giving maybe this one 9 and this one we give it back the 3. Okay, so the question is how are we going to get the services? At least now we have been able to have them like this. Now we need to have, if it is UTI, of course we can first put here instead of this 10, I'm just going to have doctors dot length dot to string, then dot add start, then you have I think 2 0. So we have like 0 2 right now onto the UTI consult. So let's see how we are going to get back the other services, because if it is UTI consult, it should just mention all others onto this. Uh, Either we could just like we could just go ahead and fetch all services, and then this one we say and not. Uh, Here where we are getting the doctors, we can just go back to this. We can remove all this. So we can just go ahead. Here we have the service. We can also have const services is equal to await Prisma client dot service dot find the many. So in this case, that is where that is where we have not. I can ask ChatGPT. I can just go Control P schema, and then we can just go and get service model. I'm just going to go ahead and go to Chat GPT. I say here is my Prisma model. How do I fetch all services except for a specific ID for a specific service ID? Okay. So, okay, you can just do something like this, where ID, and then you pass in not. Okay, so you can just go here, where ID, and then you say not. Now this not is going to be service dot ID. Okay, just like this. So this one would return now all the services. Okay. This would be for all the services. And I would also select services. I'll just go here and create type service. It should have a title and a slug. I think that are the two things we want, title and a slug. Service props. Okay. So in whatever you're returning here, I can return an object that has this and also has services. Okay. So here, doctors would be, so you could just get here data, and then we just come and say doctors, const doctors is equal to data dot. Okay, just going to say doctors dot um, what are we just doing this side? Just a second. I'm returning here an array containing the doctors and services. So at this point, I expect to get doctors to be equal to data dot doctors. Okay, why is it not? Type never is uh, is saying if you just do data dot, why is it giving us these two methods? I want to return want to know how we're going to get back these services. Okay. Still wondering why are we not getting data dot here? Let me just say const does not exist on the type never. Okay, if we just do the type here, we just go to the doctors and we do type const data is equal to this object, just like this, and then we return data here. So this one, now if we go back here with this, where is this? Not doctor services. This time we even don't have now anything on this. If we do something like this, property doctor does not exist on type doctors. Where does it get this never? Okay, but if we just go back here, does it fetch? Yeah, it does fetch by the types, the ones which are messed up. Okay, we can also go here, get services, eco services, data services, and then we can map. So I'm just going to remove all these ones. So let's map services. We can just say here, if services and services dot length. Now we don't know right now, but we're just going to work on that in a second. Then we can have probably this should be inside this one. This one should be inside. We're just going to simply copy this class, copy this inside here. Okay, so just come here and then let's map. So you can say services dot map. service. Just going to say key. So here we're just going to have service title, and then here we're just going to have service. Okay, we have to create this. We go to service and then slug. Okay. So these services, they seem not to be coming back. Let's just try to work onto this. And this one has promise of never. I don't know where is it because of the find many? Okay, I'm just going to simply go back to this. Okay, let's try to think about it. So they look at this, find unique service, then get the doctors, then get this one. So by default, they have these undefined. I can create type for this data. Data props. Okay. It is going to have these two. This and this. Okay. So come here and you give this. Okay. And you can also return as data props. Okay. So this side data, it is having never data as this. I can import data props, export them from here. I can export and then here. Okay. So this one now has accepted. We have this Now we go to the doctors. Because saying here data is possibly undefined, because of being undefined here, you can also just always say as doctor, just like this. Okay. We still have one error. Oh, the services. Type void isn't enabled. Type react node void. Let's first see here. Services. So how comes we cannot iterate? Just going to cut this. We can just say services dot map dot map. Okay. We can access a service. Is its index? Oh, okay. We just have to return. Okay, something like this. Okay. So here we don't have anything, is what I'm wondering. Okay, so now we have them. We have the headers, video, and so on and so forth, just like this. Okay. So you can just go to the headers, video, and so on. Now, if you go, for instance, the headers, you can see you will now not have the headers in this one because it is here. Okay, so this is great. UTI, okay, it has some doctors, UTI consult, and these ones all just work on the detailed page. If you just simply click on this like that. Okay, so I need to do this in consideration. Okay, taking it one more step further. If we go back here, so now we have these ones here. Okay, by the way, on these cards, we have here like the number of doctors. Is it possible to have them there? Let me see. If you look at the cards, let's go back to the if we just go to the front page, um, we have tabbed section, we have services, we push the services this side. So we pass these services into the service list. Then we have this pushing it into service card. So probably this service has this. So this one is coming from, we narrowed it down to that. We wanted this thing here, show how many doctors we have like this. So that what we could do is, let's go back some steps back. So here you can see the service is from Prisma clients. Now we need to go ahead and see this function on the home page. So the one we're using in this here, get services. Okay. So you can see inside here, we don't have include. So you can just go ahead and just say include. In fact, we can just say include here, and we're including the doctor profiles, just like that. So we can go ahead and somehow return something we want, because now it has all these profiles. Okay, so we would not want that. What we would want is to return I don't know if we can include the count, because we don't want the all the profile, we just simply the count. So if I just go to this, I'm just going to ask GPT for just a second. In this, how do I include only the doctor profiles count? So I just want only the count. And if there is where you can include the count, okay, you can do it in this way. Can use the select. And just copy the select here. Okay. Select. Title is like image. Now we could just like remove these two. Hmm. So I don't know how this one there's the services look like in that case. I can see here already it is complaining. Also is the count. Just going to ask, can you create? Here is my query. Create the types for the output. And we see. So we can define it here somewhere and export this. Okay. Automatically the whatever we return here will have it. So this side we have this here. When we pass it in this one, make sure that the services are of type this. Okay. We pass them down where we passing the services. I don't know where we passing the services. Oh, this is update. Okay. I need the one on the UI page here. Tap the section service. So these ones are getting this. We start. Okay, let's continue down here to tab the section. This one should be this. Okay. So scroll down, service data, go to this. It should have this one. Go to the service card. So where we have here, can we just say now service dot, okay, and here we have to have this just like that. Service dot count underscore count is not assignable to. So how do I access that? Dot, then dot again. Oh, like, is that it? Yeah. So you can see we can see the doctors. Which one has one, This one has two. Great. Okay. So I think we need to do another page. So I wanted to do one page that is going to be fetching all, but seems like the easy alternative is actually creating another one for specialists and another one for symptoms. Okay, because if we go to specialists, and what's the time right now? Okay, I'm just going to go to special. If we just go like here, dental, we need to create also for these specialties and then one for these symptoms. If you look at in Prisma, I think they have the same things. You can see it as the doctor profiles. Okay, I'm just going to simply go ahead and in the doctors, I wanted to let me first see. Go back to the doctors here. This might be hard to comprehend. So I'm just going to say this one. Um, I'm just going to say get maybe doctors by service slag. Okay, I'm just going to have the same. Okay, so if I go back here, I'm going to duplicate this. Get by special specialty, and the only thing that is going to change is going to be we'll have the doctors plus the services. Here I'm just going to say client dot specialty, and everything I think will just remain exactly the same. Okay, which I just like everything will remain the same. Now I'm just going to simply copy this page the way it is, just like this. I'll go and create another one in the front, specialty. So you can say specialty, then slag, and just like here, just going to be slag, and then page the TSX. Okay. specialty, and that's it. So what I'm just going to do is simply change gate doctors by specialty. Okay. Okay, so specialty, just like to see this name. Let's go back to the page here in the tab section, specialties, tab section, specialties, link. So you have this link cards. Okay. So we shall now have this going to special. What did I write? Specialty. So this is going to go to specialty. Just like this. We can just go and rename. If it takes time like this, you can simply stop and then start. Okay. Item.slag. So let's go ahead and see if you hover onto these ones. Okay. So I know at least some on the primary care. So if you go on the services, okay, let's go to this primary care, go to this side like this. Okay. So it says primary care and there is only one person, and this I guess is already also working. We have to change this. I saw to just take to, oh, by the way, these links are many. There is these ones, then there is these ones. Okay, there is even these ones here. We shall change. So if you look at what is on the services, we have to change one small thing. Go back to the doctors. Where you're getting these, you have doctors. This one is going to be specialty. So, okay. The good thing they also have the slugs. So this one should change now. Let me refresh. Yeah. So it has the other ones. Okay. And last, we're just going to do it to these symptoms. So if we look also at symptoms, let's first check in the symptoms if we have the same exact thing. Okay, the symptoms, they are different. How is the symptom related to? I'm not seeing any relationship it has Um, I'm not seeing anything, any relationship it has to this. Okay, we have to find out. Maybe let's first leave it a little bit. Um, okay, I'm just going to simply go to. I'm just going to simply go to. Go to here and so just change this a little bit to this one. This one to this one. Let me go to the doctor card. Control B, doctor card. I'm just going to copy this same link. I don't know where it is. This one. It's the one you're going to use here. Okay. Then even here. Okay. That's great. Okay. So these ones they will also have now the if I refresh here. If you hover now, they also have the same thing. If you go to image and radiography, doctors dot length, so let me just do this on that page. Okay. They're saying cannot read properties of undefined. This is where we have this doctors dot length string. I don't know, like if this just going to first take this off. So I would want to go ahead and maybe console.log doctors. Okay. Even when we have, okay, they just like maybe there is something. I'm just going to stop this and rerun it. Okay, we still have line 23. This is crazy. Where is line 23? Line 23 is indicating we have this in the service Slack. Oh, okay. You see the problem. Okay, let me just take this. We are routing to wrong place, so you can go to page, and here we are just going to special. So just go back to the primary care. Okay, so this should be now taking specialty. Yeah, so you can see primary care, dermatology, pediatrics has nothing, men's health, dental. Okay, so we see we have this, which is great. Okay, yeah. So far so good. I'm just going to go ahead and deploy this, and I will see you in the next episode. So here, let me just go and deploy this. Just gonna say we added service, and we added the service and specialty pages. Okay. Okay. So thank you guys. This is really nice. Thank you for watching this episode. I will see you in the next one.